Welcome back. Another episode on what the heck is this channel on this show? I don't know either. I hope you are all snuggled in, quarantined, safe and healthy, because that's all we can do right now. I'm coming to you live from my living room. Yeah, living room studio. Just put it up, quarantine ready and everything. So adding a little humor to your life, we are going to get through this. So today we're talking about knocking doors down. Big shout out to Veronica Jones, doc student, uh, who we had some discussions and a few things came to mind. So big shout out to her who inspired this episode. So talking about knocking doors down. When you think about knocking doors down, consider what are we trying to do? I'm trying to enter. I'm trying to gain access. I need something. I want something. Something's in there, and I want to see. I want to do. And oftentimes in doc programs, we consider the waiting game. Patience, waiting. I'm waiting for my professor to give my grades back. I'm waiting for my chair to send me my revisions, my edits. I'm waiting on IRB. I'm waiting on participants. I'm waiting on clients. I'm waiting on students. I am waiting. Waiting is a part of the process at times. However, you can be proactive with your waiting. So one of the things I want to talk about the most that stands out to most of doc students have concerns with is waiting on their chair to get back to them. So understand now, a lot of you have submitted your first draft, second draft, 100th draft, and you're waiting on your chair to get back with you. Understand that your chair, number one, is a human being too, meaning they may be having some things that they're dealing with, trying to get through this pandemic just like you. And everybody's handling this in different ways. So give them a little grace, give them a little space. However, you can still communicate. To me, communication is key. And when we communicate with one another, especially with your chair, you're able to get information instead of assuming. So oftentimes when our chair have our work, we start twiddling our thumbs, or we feel like that's the most pressing thing. So all these other things I'll do, but the most pressing is getting those edits back. Because the sooner I get those edits back, the sooner I can work on it, resubmit it. So now that process has slowed down even more because of this pandemic. So everybody's dealing with different things. However, there is power in communication. My suggestion to all of you is to consider what would happen if I reached out? What would happen if I asked? What would happen if I follow up? And typically, most of you, if not all, have created these scenarios and ideas in your mind of what my chair is doing to not get to my edits. And these thoughts are never healthy. Usually they don't start being healthy like, oh, she's taking care of little Bobby, little Jimmy. No, she over there kicking it, drinking, you know what I mean? She over there got mimosas, having brunch, quarantined, and not giving me my edits back. Yes, those are some of the thoughts that we have. It's not healthy. It's unhealthy thoughts of she or he is doing all of these things for other students and not doing it for me. The truth is, number one, it doesn't matter what they're doing. Number two, don't assume what they're doing because it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant, and you have to be mindful of what you can control versus the things that you cannot. And what your chair is doing is something you cannot control. So instead of creating these scenarios and ideas of what my chair may be doing not to get back my edits, you could actually reach out. Reach out via text, email, phone call, Facebook message, DM. It doesn't matter. Reach out. That's your chair's responsibility to handle those edits. They signed up for it. True story. I don't know if you knew this or not, but they signed up to be a faculty member and signed up to be your chair. So therefore, they are responsible. If you haven't heard it first, you're hearing it here. They are responsible for making sure you're taken care of. Now, does every chair take care of you? Absolutely not. Don't expect them to. That's not part of their job, to take care of you, to baby you, to mother you, to make sure that you're okay and stroke your ego and encourage you and give you self-esteem. That's not their job. Some people are really good at it and they give you that for free, and other people you got to fight for it. And other people don't give you nothing at all except red marks. Moving on. So knocking doors down, these assumptions, these ideas that you've created in your mind when it relates to your chair prevents you from doing anything but getting angry, increasing your stress, your anxiety. Oh my God, what am I going to do? What's taking her so long or taking him so long? And it's causing you stress. So instead of allowing that stress to happen, reach out. Ask, is everything okay? Is there something that I could do? Is there anything that you may need from me? Is there something I can work on in between? Reach out, ask questions, find out the facts and not the assumptions. And your chair more than likely will let you know where he or she stands. I needed more time. Little Bobby got sick. I'm over here twerking with mimosas. Mind your business. Whatever. They will tell you. Or they will tell you, give me another week. Give me another 5 days. Give me another 3. They will tell you something. And when they tell you something, that's information that gives you evidence of how to move forward. So if you know I got 5 days, what can I work on for 5 days if my chair doesn't bring this up? Understand that being a doc student, you work in a very autonomous space. So you have to find ways to fill that time. If not, because you're in doc mode, the idle time is the worst thing you could have because you're going to overthink yourself to death or drink yourself to death. One or the other. It's going to be something real happy and healthy or something very negative and unhealthy. So protect yourself. Now, this is more specific towards people of color. So any people of color that's doc students, you have another layer of issues, not issues, but another layer of concern when it comes to asking your chair for anything. Number one, it's an authority figure, and we've been taught to, respect that authority figure. And then this is something that I may have this is someone that I have on a pedestal. I want to be where he or she is, so let me not disturb, let me not push, let me not do anything. And the reasons go on of why we have this, we treat them so exclusively and don't give them the same respect or treat them the same way we would treat anybody else. Because if there's anybody else that would have our dissertation, we would ask, hey, what you doing with that? Can I get my edits back? But with our chair, for whatever reason, we give them more grace and space not to ask. The challenge is just to ask. So those layers is part of who we are, our makeup, our culture. And within your makeup, within your culture, we have ideas related to other people's perspective. So we're being very considerate not to ask, not to reach back, not to call. But how considerate are we going to be? Are you considerate for a month? Are you considerate for 2 weeks? Are you considerate for a couple of days? More than likely, your consideration is beyond the norm. Your consideration is beyond what they offer because it's their job and their responsibility to make sure they're taking care of your dissertation. Again, it's not about you personally, not their responsibility to take care of you as a person, but it is their responsibility to take care of your work and give you opportunities to write, to create, to do your part. So don't wait on them. Be proactive. Reach out. Those are my nuggets for the day.